Hey everyone, it's Hennifer Bianca Gant here. Thanks so much for watching another Ask HR segment. So today we are going to be talking about, does my social media profile really matter? Of course it does, right? Of course it does. But I'm going to tell you how it matters, why it matters, and what hiring managers and HR professionals could be looking for. So if this is your first time watching any video of mine, again, my name is Hennifer Bianca Gant, and I teach employees how strategies and tips, and I train them on what to do, how to take their careers to the next level. I do that through a company called Career Image Solutions. If you are inquiring more information about that, about the company and what we do, make sure you check out www.career-image.com. So, does my social media matter, right? Of course it does. But let's dig a little deeper. So, social media can be a number of different platforms. And really, I probably should have just titled this, Does My Online Presence Matter? And yeah, it does. See, the thing is, if I were talking to other entrepreneurs, other business professionals, they would automatically say, of course, social media matters, right? Because we are trained that businesses, that in order for you to do good business, that you have to have a positive social media presence, and you're supposed to have strategic messages on there, this, that, and the other. You're supposed to check it and post this often, things of that nature. And I'm here to tell you that those same analytics do apply to career professionals, those that are not necessarily in business, because those algorithms and how you're perceived, your perceived value, and what people are saying about you when you leave the room or when you're offline and online, that still applies to the career professionals, straight up. All right, so you could be on LinkedIn, you could be on Facebook, you could be on Twitter, you could be on Instagram, and whatever else is out there. Believe it or not, even like some of these dating sites. So that's all part of social media. What I want you to know is that even if you've made some features private, just make sure you go and look yourself up, because you might find that some old pages might start coming up. You still might be able to see associations of yours, comments, posts that you've posted regarding other topics, right? So even though your page is private, some of your comments might be accessible or available to the public. So you just want to make sure that, number one, that you're checking your privacy settings if that is a concern of yours. But another rule of thumb is that if you're embarrassed by whatever it is that you're posting, don't put it. Just plain and simple. And again, some of you might agree, some of you might disagree. This is just my own personal experience from over 15 years of experience in human resources, hiring, firing, and teaching others how to do the same. So if you're embarrassed by it, don't put it on social media. Don't put it online, because it can come back to backfire, or it can propel you into the next level of your career. So let's talk about some ways, and I'm just looking at my notes here. So let's talk about some ways that let's talk about some ways in how your social media profile can either enhance your reputation for your career brand, or it can kind of diminish or tarnish that brand. One of the very first things is your profile picture, right? So what are you doing in that profile picture? Okay. Are you smiling? Are you not smiling? Are you dressed professionally? Is it a professional picture? Do you have your dog instead of your picture, right? Instead of you, it's your dog. Are you with your mother? Are you with your husband, right? So again, there's no right or wrong in any of this. However, what I am saying is that be cognizant of your brand, right? Your brand should be speaking to who you want or where you want to go, not just where you currently are. It should be a really good bridge, right? Of where you're trying to go, and also kind of like who you are, right? So with your profile picture, is the picture of your dog going to help you get to where you need to go? If it is, then keep your dog picture. If it's not, then no. So here's an example. I'm telling you, some of the tables that I've sat at, there are some hiring professionals, recruiters that will not take a look at you if you don't have a profile pic, if you don't have a picture on your LinkedIn profile. That's just one example. So you could have the wrong picture or no picture. And you might be like, well, I'm just not going to put a picture at all. And just know that there are some people that won't even won't even consider you because you didn't put a picture, right? Because it's like, hey, what does he have to hide? What does she have to hide? Again, doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right. I'm just sharing with you from my experience what I've heard, and just hopefully that these things can help you. And when you are building and rebranding your social media profile, also your who you're associated with, your network. So depending on, who are you engaging with on your social media profiles, the easiest to talk to is Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, and we can kind of tell, uh, we can look at your friendships, so who you deemed as friends, right? Who you've added as friends. And not that we can tell, but some people kind of look at your brand, based off of your social capital. So if you know a lot of, let's just say, I'm just going to use human resources because that's the field that I'm most comfortable in. So let's say you want to be in HR and you have a lot of other HR friends. As a hiring manager, I'm going to be like, oh wow, so this person knows about like seven other people in HR. You might wonder, like, how do you know that? Look it on Facebook. Well, some people actually put their job titles, as part of their profile. So sometimes it's just easy to look that way, and not everybody makes their profile, their page, private. So it's kind of easy to go through and look, to go through your friends to see what they're posting about. And it's like, hey, these are your friends, and typically you're the average of the seven people that you're closest to. So, and again, not right, doesn't make it wrong, just sharing. Is that okay? All right. So your friends, same thing with like your network with LinkedIn. Doesn't necessarily mean that these people are your closest friends. But again, if you are in HR and you have HR people as part of your network, it makes you look a little bit more credible. Like, oh, she knows someone, especially if you know someone that I know, and that person is deemed as credible, then it just makes you look more credible, and therefore enhances your social media brand. Whereas it can work to your detriment if you have a profile and you're like, oh, you only have about 5 friends. It's like, dang, does this person even interact or engage with anyone? I know, not right, not wrong, just sharing. Got it? Association. So another thing that you can take into consideration with your social media profiles, again, regardless if you are on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, just take all of these nuggets and just apply it to wherever you belong. All right. So your associations, we can, as a hiring manager, we can, look at some of the associations that you belong to see if you are in fact reputable, right? To see if you are in fact the expert that you say that you are. So again, HR as an example, if you say that you are an HR professional, I know the HR associations that we belong to. Are you part of any of those associations? And if not, I'm kind of looking at you sideways, right? And again, not right, not wrong, but again, if you knowing this information, you now can say, hey, maybe I should add this association so that way my brand can be enhanced a little bit. And again, there's so many different strategies on how to enhance your brand, so that way your social media brand, so that way you get noticed and you don't have to always go seeking after recruiters and hiring managers. Believe it or not, there's some things that you could do to your online brand, social media, believe it or not just LinkedIn, but also Facebook, also Instagram, some things that you could do strategically to enhance yourself, so that way you could be recognized, you could be noticed, and take your career to the next level. So again, associations, what associations are you a part of? What associations are you not a part of, right? That can also determine how someone views your social media profile and brand. And of course, the posts. the things that you post and the things that you comment. So again, there are things that you post that can be detrimental, but there's also things that you can post that can be really, really good. And then there's times when people are like, hey, I just have a page, but I'm not active. Like, those people that are like, I'm really not on social media, but they know everything that you post. Stop playing games. You're on social media. Just say, um, I don't post anything, but don't say you're not on social media. You're on social media anyway. So when your post can definitely either enhance or again be a detriment towards your social media brand, because if you are posting derogatory things, things that again you would be embarrassed by, again, that's just my own little tidbit. If you'll be embarrassed by it 5 years from now, if you feel like it might affect where you want to go in the future, I would personally just not post it. Now, again, some people use their social media profiles and outlets as an outlet to vent, to be able to communicate with family, things of that nature. Again, nothing wrong with that. I'm just sharing nuggets for you to take away so that you can do what you will with it, if it makes a difference to you. Again, I just like empowering individuals with nuggets and strategies on what they could do to take their careers to the next level. So if you feel like this is not something you want to do, you want to leave your social media presence as is, absolutely. But if you want to enhance your social media presence so that way it could also enhance and increase your chances of taking your career to the next level, then I encourage you to follow some of these tips. So with what you post, if you're posting derogatory comments about women and just different types of things, and the type of pictures that you're taking are a little, can be deemed as a little offensive. And again, I'm not saying the things that are going to interfere with your core belief system. If it's part of your core belief system and that's what you want to post, by all means post it. But if it's, just be cognizant, because once you put it on the web, it can be found, period. Let me just put it that way. I have some IT friends. Once you put it online, it can be found, period. So here are some things that can enhance your brand by what you post. So if you're posting articles relating to the industry that you're in, then it shows that you are in fact credible. It's like, oh, okay, oh my gosh, this lady wants to be in HR. She's posting HR articles. It doesn't mean that you're a good person. Doesn't mean that you're a great fit for the job. However, it makes a hiring professional a little bit more apt to looking at you a little bit more because of what you posted. You posted things that are relating to where you want to go. Does that make sense? Hopefully. I'm a trainer, so I like interaction and engagement. So you might be like, why is she asking me? Does that make sense? I can't answer her. I don't know why I do that. It's just, listen, just bear with me. If it makes sense and you're watching the replay, just go ahead and say makes sense. So that way, that way I know I'm not by myself. So again, it's just a trainer and a teacher in me. I'm always engaging, interacting. So again, we talked about your profile picture. We talked about the friends, your associations, your network. All of that can also impact your social media brand. The associations, so the groups that you belong to, the professional associations that you belong to or don't belong to, can impact your social media brand. The posts, what you actually post, can impact you, right? And we talked about that. If it embarrasses you, you just should not post it. That's just, again, listen, I'm a mom of four. So, the mom comes out. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am. I'm encouraging you, strongly encouraging you to make sure that you just like, listen, if you're going to be embarrassed by it, just don't post it. And by all means, share this with, any generation. And this isn't just generation specific. I know that there's a lot of information right now about like, oh, millennials, blah, blah, blah. And technically I fall into the millennial category, depending on which book and article you're reading. But what I wanted to say is that trust me, from a hiring perspective, I'm telling you, this crosses generations. Okay, there are baby boomers making huge mistakes with their social media branding, just like those just entering the workforce. So don't think like it's just according to one generation. It's totally, totally not. So Another little quick thing that I just want to throw at you. I wrote this in my notes that if you are on social media and everyone has different rules of thumb, philosophies regarding this, but my philosophy is if you don't need and have to add your coworkers or your supervisor as friends, don't add them. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother video on that. I think I've talked about this before though in some of my other videos, but like it's just again, my thought process is just like, hey, just don't do it. Unless it's something, if you all are engaging and on your company profile, change your privacy so that they don't necessarily see everything that you're doing. I've just seen a whole lot of messiness. Can I just say that? A lot of messiness um, comes out of that when, people are so engaged in what you're doing and feel like they have like another inside lens into your life, especially if you're posting things about personal things and your family, da 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 da. You just might want to limit their visibility and their interaction with you if you are going to add them to your network on your social media profiles, especially Facebook. So that's just, again, you can take it, you can leave it. It's up to you. I hope this information was extremely helpful to you. Again, if you are interested in finding out more information on how to take, or you need some assistance or some additional strategy on how to take your career to the next level, you want to make sure you reach out to us at www.career-image.com, or you could just email our team at services@career-image.com. We will be more than happy to help you. Again, my name is Henither Bianca Gant, and I teach and show employees how to take their careers to the next level. So if that is you, if that is what you're seeking, make sure you reach out to me. I can be found on LinkedIn. I can be found on Facebook. I could be found on Instagram. So definitely check me out. But you can find all of that information at www.career-image.com. Until next time, don't forget to command your day. Have a great day, everyone.